My name's Evan, and if you'd seen me on the street last spring, you'd never guess the truth about me. 19 years old, a decent student at Riverside College, part-time cashier at the corner bookstore. I looked like any other guy in town. But behind the locked door of my small bedroom, there was a part of me no one knew. Not my parents. Not my friends. Not a single soul. When I was 14, I found an old shoebox in the attic while looking for Christmas lights. Inside was a folded silk blouse that had belonged to my grandmother, soft and cool under my fingertips. I don't know why I tried it on, maybe curiosity, maybe something deeper, but the moment that fabric brushed against my skin, something clicked. I felt whole. Over the years, I built a secret wardrobe, skirts, dresses, heels, makeup I'd bought online under fake names. It wasn't just clothes to me. It was like stepping into a fuller version of myself, someone softer, freer, and entirely me. And I was very, very good at keeping it hidden. That is, until the summer my parents decided to spend 3 whole months volunteering at a medical clinic in Costa Rica. They were thrilled. I was less so, especially when they told me I wouldn't be alone. "You'll be staying with your Aunt Camilla," Mom had said, like it was good news. Aunt Camilla. My mother's older sister, 45, a high-powered corporate consultant who traveled constantly. She was elegant, intimidating, and the kind of person who could spot a crooked tie from across a room. I'd only seen her in short holiday visits, always dressed in tailored suits with sharp heels that clicked like a metronome on the floor. She was kind, but she had that look like she could read your mind if you weren't careful. How was I supposed to keep my secret with her in the same house for 3 months? The day she arrived, I watched from the window as her silver sedan pulled up. She stepped out, a vision of control, hair swept back, sunglasses perfectly angled, a navy blazer hugging her shoulders. She spotted me instantly and smiled. "Evan," she called, her voice warm but precise. "You've grown since Christmas. And you've changed." I swallowed. Changed? How much could she tell from 30 feet away? I helped carry her luggage in. Even her suitcases looked expensive. Dinner that night was polite enough. She told stories about her clients in Singapore and Madrid, and I mumbled through updates about college. But all the while, I kept feeling like she was observing me, noticing things. By the end of the week, I'd figured out my survival plan. Camilla went on long morning walks at sunrise. That gave me a 90-minute window before she returned. I'd dress in my favorite clothes, put on light makeup, and just be myself before stripping it all away in time to greet her with bedhead and a t-shirt. It worked, for a while. One Friday morning, I was midway through my routine, a lavender dress flowing just to my knees, soft beige tights hugging my legs, a little gloss on my lips, when I heard the crunch of tires in the driveway. "She's back early." Panic surged. I scrambled to peel the dress over my head, but the zipper caught in my hair. I yanked, twisted, nothing. My pulse roared in my ears. The front door opened. Footsteps on the hardwood. Getting closer. "Evan?" Her voice was casual, curious. I froze, half turned toward the mirror, the dress still clinging to me. And then she was in the doorway. Her eyes flicked over me, the dress, the tights, the trembling hands, and for a moment, neither of us moved. "Well," she said finally, her tone unreadable. "That explains a few things." My stomach dropped. She raised a hand gently. "No need to explain right now. Just sit. We'll talk." And that was the moment I realized my summer was about to become something I never could have imagined. I sat on the edge of my bed, my heart pounding so loud I was sure she could hear it. My hands twisted in my lap, the lavender fabric still draped around me, stubborn zipper and all. Aunt Camilla closed the door behind her and leaned against it, arms folded. She didn't look angry. If anything, she looked curious. "Well," she began slowly, "I didn't expect this when I came back for my forgotten wallet." I swallowed hard. "I'm sorry." She shook her head. "Stop apologizing before I've even said anything. You're not in trouble, Evan. But I'd like to understand, how long?" Her tone wasn't accusatory. It was almost clinical, like she was gathering data. I hesitated. "Since I was 14. Camilla nodded, taking that in as if I'd told her my favorite color. And you've kept it a secret all this time? Yes. A small smile tugged at the corner of her mouth. You must be very good at hiding things. That sentence landed like a pebble in a pond, sending ripples through the air. I couldn't tell if it was a compliment or a warning. She crossed the room and, without asking, tugged the zipper down, freeing me from the dress. There. Now, if you're going to keep doing this while I'm here, we need some ground rules. I blinked. Ground rules? Yes. She walked to the chair by my desk and sat down, crossing one elegant leg over the other. Rule 1. You don't sneak around like some jewel thief. If you want a dress, you tell me. I hate secrets in my house. I stared at her. You're okay with it? She tilted her head. I didn't say I disapprove. I said I want honesty. You're an adult. What you do in your own time is your business, but hiding it like this only makes you look guilty. My shoulders loosened slightly. Okay. And rule 2. Her smile widened. Rule 2, if you're going to do it, you're going to do it properly. No half effort. No mismatched tights or smudged lipstick. If you want to explore this side of yourself, I'll make sure you do it with style. That should have been reassuring. But the glint in her eyes, sharp, almost mischievous, made me wonder exactly what with style meant. She stood, smoothing her skirt. Tomorrow, we're going into the city. I know a boutique that will be perfect for you. My stomach twisted. Wait, going out? Like this? Of course not, she said lightly, then added, not yet. Before I could ask what she meant, her phone buzzed. She glanced at the screen, smiled faintly, and walked toward the door. We'll start small, Evan. But something tells me you'll thank me later. The door clicked shut, leaving me with 1,000 questions and a pulse that refused to calm down. I didn't know it then, but her rules were only the beginning. Because Aunt Camilla wasn't just going to help me, she had a plan of her own. The next morning, I barely slept from the mix of dread and curiosity. When Camilla appeared at my door, she was already dressed like she was going to a business lunch, crisp white blouse, pencil skirt, heels clicking softly on the hardwood. Come on, she said, holding a travel coffee in one hand and tossing me a plain hoodie with the other. We've got a train to catch. I pulled it on, wondering what exactly I was walking into. We arrived in the city just after 10. The streets buzzed with commuters, coffee carts, and shop windows reflecting the summer sun. Camilla led me down a narrow side street, stopping in front of a discreet boutique with a single gold letter V etched on the glass. Inside, it smelled faintly of lavender and something more expensive I couldn't name. Dresses in rich fabrics lined the walls, shoes displayed like art pieces. A tall woman with silver hair and flawless eyeliner approached. Camilla, darling, she said warmly. And this must be the nephew you mentioned. My cheeks burned. Camilla gave me a sidelong glance. Evan. But that might change. The woman smiled knowingly and ushered us toward a private fitting area in the back. My heart pounded as Camilla plucked items from racks, a soft blush wrap dress, a navy skirt that shimmered in the light, delicate heels with ankle straps. Try these, she instructed. I hesitated, glancing toward the curtain. What if someone sees? That's the point, she said simply. Inside the fitting room, I changed slowly, the fabric whispering against my skin. When I stepped out, Camilla's expression softened in a way I'd never seen. You look natural, she murmured. I thought that was the twist. But it wasn't. While the silver-haired woman adjusted the dress on my shoulders, Camilla wandered to the far wall and picked up a framed photograph. She studied it, then turned it toward me. It was a younger Camilla, or so I thought, in a flowing evening gown, laughing on the arm of another woman. That's not me, she said before I could comment. That's Cassandra. I blinked. She looks just like you. She should, Camilla said, setting the frame down. Because 15 years ago, I was Cassandra. The words hit me like a jolt. You. She smiled faintly. We'll talk on the way home. For now, focus on how that dress makes you feel. I stared at her, the realization still sinking in. My aunt had her own past, one that mirrored mine more closely than I could have imagined. And if she had lived through this before, what did that mean for me? The train ride home was quiet at first, the city's skyline sliding past the window. I kept stealing glances at Camilla, my mind buzzing with questions I didn't know how to start. Finally, she broke the silence. "I told you I used to be Cassandra," she said, her voice softer than usual. "But that wasn't a stage name, Evan. It was who I really was for years. Before life got complicated." I turned toward her. "You mean, you lived as a woman?" She nodded. "From my late teens into my 30s. It wasn't an act. It was freedom. I built a career, friendships, even love. But then an opportunity came that meant burying Cassandra to survive in a world that wasn't ready for her." Her gaze met mine, sharp and kind all at once. "When I saw you today in that dress, I saw a piece of myself I'd locked away." The realization made my chest tighten. "So you're not here just to look after me while Mom and Dad are gone?" She smiled faintly. "No. I'm here because I think you're standing at the same crossroads I once did. And maybe I can help you choose differently." By the time we reached home, my head was spinning. I had expected lectures, maybe disapproval. Instead, I'd found an unexpected ally with a past that made my own secret seem less terrifying. But I had no idea she had one more twist waiting for me, one that would force me to decide just how far I was willing to go. 2 nights later, Camilla appeared at my bedroom door holding a small garment bag. "Tomorrow," she said, "there's a charity gala downtown. I'm invited, and so is Cassandra's niece." It took a second to click. "You mean?" "Yes. You," she said, lips curving into a challenge. "Full transformation. Public. Cameras. Conversations. No hoodie to hide behind." My stomach dropped. "I can't." "You can," she said firmly. "The question is, will you?" The next day was a blur of hairstyling, makeup, and last-minute coaching. When I finally stood before the mirror, I barely recognized myself, soft curls framing my face, a flowing midnight blue gown brushing my ankles, silver heels that somehow felt steady under me. "You're not Evan tonight," Camilla whispered. "You're Evelyn." The gala was everything I feared: bright lights, strangers, small talk that felt like a minefield. But with Camilla by my side, I found myself laughing, answering questions, even dancing once. No one stared. No one whispered. They simply saw me. On the train ride home, I exhaled for what felt like the first time in hours. "I don't know what happens next," I admitted. Camilla smiled, placing a hand over mine. "You don't need to. Tonight wasn't about choosing forever. It was about proving to yourself that you can choose." As we pulled into the station, I realized something. This summer hadn't just been about keeping a secret or even sharing one. It had been about seeing a future I hadn't dared imagine and knowing I might want to walk toward it. And thanks to Camilla, I knew I wouldn't be walking alone.